Hello everybody, it's Peter Bird here from Optimal Nutritional Excellence. It's really nice to see you. I hope your day's going okay. I just want to have a talk today about telomere destruction. And I'll explain to you what telomeres are, and I'll explain to you why that's important to you. And I'll explain to you about how telomeres affect our health and what can influence that both positively and negatively. Now, this is the fourth education session that I'm giving on the cornerstones of unwellness. Now, as I mentioned in my last vlog, which was on the DNA destruction or DNA mutation, that these cornerstones, if you flip a coin, one side is the illness-causing effects of these systems. The other side is the health-promoting effects of these systems when they're fully functioning. So the importance of understanding these systems is knowing that they can be a double-edged sword, that if you're eating the typical Western diet, high in animal protein, high in ultra-processed foods, then these systems are suppressed in the body. There's natural systems in the body that are designed specifically to allow us to function at our optimum. And as we eat the typical Western diet and we are having sleep disruptions and stress and smoking and alcohol and poor relationship, environmental pollutions, all those factors have an influence, but the primary influencer is what we ingest, what we eat. So if you're eating the typical Western diet, then this double-edged sword, these systems will be compromised, and hence the systemic inflammation, the insulin resistance, the DNA mutation, and now we're talking about telomere destruction. And this is the fourth of five cornerstones that I'm talking about, that I will be talking about, and that I have spoken about. So what are telomeres? Why are they important? In each cell, as I've explained to you, you have a photocopier, in simple terms. That photocopier replicates the blueprint or the recipe for that cell. It takes your DNA and it replicates it, and it produces a new recipe for creation of a new cell. The DNA, the blueprint that it uses, has telomeres on the end of it. Now, telomeres are like the caps on your bootlaces or your shoelaces. They stop the top of the shoelace unraveling, so it's like that as opposed to that. All the cells in your body have inside them this photocopier, and it replicates this new version of the wearing of as the cell wears out. The telomeres, they sit on the end of these DNA strands, and they act like bootlaces. So they stop the DNA from unraveling. As we are exposed to environmental exposures, primarily our typical Western diet, then these telomeres, each time the DNA is replicated, each time it goes through the photocopier, the telomeres get a little bit shorter. So what happens, that contributes to and essentially is the aging process. Now, I must say we have two types of aging. We have chronological aging. So it's how long you've been on planet Earth. And then we have what we call epigenetic aging, epigenetic, or cellular age, or biological age. And that's how old we are on the inside. Be more specific, it's how old our cells are. Now, what contributes to that aging process of our cells, that epigenetic age, or that biological age? It's the unraveling and the shortening of these telomeres. So as our telomeres shorten and they age and they get frayed, the DNA starts to unravel and it breaks a bit. And so the next time it photocopies, it's not the best version of its previous self. And so that's our aging process. There's many things that affect that, but the primary aspect of our telomere destruction is our typical Western diet. Now, okay, so I've outlined the problem. What is the solution to this? How can we work in favour of our bodies and ensure that our telomeres maintain their wellness, their length, so that each time that cell is replicated, each time the photocopier makes another recipe of that cell, that those telomeres are nice and long and healthy? Quite simply, I think you may know what I'm going to say, including a high degree of whole foods. So your nuts, your legumes, your seeds, your leafy greens, your vegetables, your whole grains, your mushrooms. Now, we know that the enzyme that's involved in the growth of telomeres is enhanced within 3 weeks when we adopt a whole food plant-based diet and remove the typical Western diet. 3 weeks, we have an increase in the enzymes. Now, enzymes, they're kind of like the workers, if you like. They take the message and they will create an aid in the production of something. And generally it's a protein, not always a protein, but and in this case, the enzymes that are involved in the growth of new telomeres or the lengthening of our telomeres start to increase, and we can detect them in our blood in less than 3 weeks. At 5 years, we can show that the telomeres have lengthened and become firm and healthy again. So in real terms, what that means is that our epigenetic age, our biological age, can be reversed. So you can be 50 years old chronologically, in other words, you've been on planet Earth for 50 years, and you can, if you've been exposed to the typical Western diet, have an epigenetic age of maybe 60 years. So you can see how that the epigenetic age is the primary influencer on how long you live. And more importantly, it's how long you're going to be well while you're alive. Now that's the key, isn't it? So lengthening your telomeres, maintaining strong, healthy telomeres, ensuring that the DNA doesn't unravel, ensuring that each time that photocopier replicates and makes a new version of itself, that it's the healthiest it can be. And we know that nutrient density, by adopting a whole food, plant-based lifestyle, is the best approach to do that. So that's what I want to say to you today. It's really quite simple. My aim is to provide simple, clear, easy to understand information to you so that you can take more control of your health and do that a mouthful at a time. As I say, and I've said many, many times, if you want change, take control of your kitchen. Take control of what comes into your kitchen, take control of what goes out of your kitchen, and ensure that you're creating meals that are high in your leafy greens, your nuts, seeds, legumes, your mushrooms, your whole grains. Also ensure you drink plenty of water. That's something that's often overlooked when we talk about improving our nutrition or nutritional excellence, is ensuring that we're keeping our hydration up, because if we're not hydrating ourselves well, then the nutrients can't get around our body as well. The byproducts can't get taken away from our body. Having great nutrition through a whole food plant-based lifestyle and having great hydration go hand in hand. By adopting a whole food plant-based lifestyle, you're having by default more fluid, because there's a higher amount of fluid in your vegetables than there are in animal products, certainly ultra-processed foods. So that's me. It's really nice seeing you. It's lovely talking to you. It's one of my favourite places here, sitting, offering you this education. If you enjoy this, if you know of someone that may benefit from what I'm saying, please like and subscribe and refer me. Catch you again later. Have a great day, guys. See ya.